What up, everybody? It's your boy DTLF back with another episode of Around the League. We got obviously our panel here, Empire Jeff. What's up, bro?
What's going on, sirs? What's going on, man?
My guy, Me's the GM, flexing
on,
on
man. We
him.
back in the building, baby. We back
Ready
in the
to
building,
attack.
man.
I see you, bro. And of course, the graphic goat, Chris, Court Kings, Chris. Man, shout out to Chris. What's up, Chris? How you doing, bro?
Not so good, man. We'll get into it.
I feel you.
We're right there with you. But of course, it ain't Around the League without our special guest. And today we got a good one, man. D Free joining the chat. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. Hope you guys are all doing great.
Yes,
Man,
I know Chris said he's not, but I hope his day gets a little better. Everyone else listening as well.
Yeah, we're gonna get through this, man.
That's tough. And chat, how you guys doing as well? Good to see all of you here today for another episode of Around the League, first off-season episode of the year. Unfortunately, our Lakers get eliminated last night, man, in a 5-game series, gentleman sweep. Now I got an interesting stat here, and we're gonna start with our special guest here. Got an interesting stat for you guys. So apparently the Lakers led the series 165 minutes while Denver led 59 minutes. What are you guys' thoughts on this? Let's start with D Free. Go ahead, brother.
That stat is extremely damning. I saw that's actually the first time that has happened, and the team doing that has lost the series. That's extremely damning. That's crazy. To say that you're leading the series about 70% of the time and wind up losing the series is just, I don't really have words for that. I mean, really what that tells me is that you lost. There are various reasons why you lost, but one of the big reasons is you lost on the margins. You know, you weren't able to get those timely rebounds, as we saw a couple of times in a couple of games. You weren't able to hit the big shots at the end, like we saw a couple of times. You weren't able to do X, Y, or Z, but ultimately that tells me that you were right there, but just couldn't take it away. And part of me feels like that's the sign of, from the opposite side, that's a sign of a good team, because the good teams, the best teams are the ones that are going to snatch your heart out when it comes time to do so. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, like I said, there's a number of them, we were unable to do so. But I think that tells me also that the Lakers, it's the same thing as last year. They lost this series by like 20 points overall, like throughout all the games. There was 5 games this year. It's the same thing where it's like close sweep, close loss. It tells me that they were right there, but again, on the margins, right? So very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate, man. And Mees, let me come right back to you with this one, man. Same question. What do you think really led to this baffling statistic? Like my guy D Free said, man, it's very confusing because we leading for 3/4 of the series, and we lose most games in the fourth quarter. How you feel, Mees?
I'm gonna be real, man. This is whoo. Speaking to my boy Chris, man. This has been tough. It's different if you just suck and you getting mollywopped. Okay, we're not good next year. When you're right there, it's so frustrating. And a lot of this, I hate to say it, because, like, again, we waiting on it to break any moment now. The moments, as my man D Free said, those moments where we need the decision making to happen. We need coaches to stop bleeding and set up a play to stop runs from happening. I mean, there was a moment, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it was 69-60 that we were up. And I believe the timeout wasn't called until 74-71. And all of the internet was screaming for that timeout during that run, including Kendrick Perkins. And the talking heads on television surprisingly was like, what are you doing? Those are the moments where the game is gone. Those little moments, forget game adjustments, forget substituting the wrong guy, all the Dinwiddie minutes. We have Vando back, Christian Wood, and you don't use none of those advantages. Those little moments right there is where we have the momentum going. We got them on the ropes, and you let them off, and you don't call a timeout till we're down 3 or 4 on the road. And elimination, that's night. We can't have too many of those moments. You need a coach that knows when to go, when to get on the pedal, when to make the move, when to put this guy in, and when to take this guy out. And we was just getting killed from the coaching position, man, game for game. My man Mike Malone was just running circles around our coach, and it's quite unfortunate, man.
Yeah, bro, it was a disgusting display of poor coaching. Jeff, what do you attribute this statistic to? Like, what is the biggest reason why we kept losing the lead in the fourth quarters, man?
I believe it was 69% of the series the Lakers had the lead, which is an absurd number to the losing team. So pretty much everything that these guys said, I really like what D said there about the margins, because that's such a great way to describe it. So exactly what it was. Even in a game where we our major problems of offensive rebounds. We outdid them in that yesterday, and still couldn't pull it through because every time we got the offensive rebound, we kick it out and make another shot. We couldn't punish them with it. The Lakers pretty much had solved a lot of the problems with their outside shooting going into the playoffs. They made it to like top 6 in the league in 3-point percentage, and they got to the playoffs and just couldn't shoot anymore. And down the stretch, what stood out to me is the Lakers were I talked about this a lot heading into the playoffs. So the Lakers were the top team in the league in the clutch down the stretch for the whole season. Something like a 73% win percentage, which is insane. And that's with all those Denver losses during the regular
season. They said 24-9.
Yeah, so they were closing teams out when they were in the clutch, right? But it's mental. Denver was in their head. And to be honest, to me, and this is just my opinion, watching the Lakers, they looked like what everyone thought OKC would look like in the final 5 minutes of a game. They looked like the team who was their first time in the playoffs. They looked like a young team. They didn't look like the team that had a 4-time champion, a 39-year-old guy out there, a 30-year-old Anthony Davis. They didn't look like that team. They looked like a bunch of guys who were in the playoffs for the first time. They looked, they just become completely disorganized in the final 5 minutes of a basketball game against Denver. And that's why game 2, and you guys know me, I'm not as blatantly hard on Darvin as everyone else, but game 2 was him, right? Had they not blown game 2, and then you go into game 3 with Denver knowing not only did you actually beat them, but you beat them in Denver, then I don't believe that the Lakers quit in game 3, because they did. They quit in game 3.
They gave up.
And then there was a world that we could have been living in where the Lakers go back to Denver up 3-1. Now, I know we can't can't predict hypotheticals, but that's just how important game 2 was. And to me, I said going home 0-2 felt like going home 0-3. It wasn't the typical cliche. They held serve. They won 2. Now you go get 2. It wasn't the same. That in a vacuum it is, but that wasn't this series, because at that point they had beat us 10 times in a row, and it was just all mental then. And by the time game 3 hit and they started applying pressure and coming back, and the Lakers just gave up. And by that time the series was over, right? They handled game 4. They made a hell of an effort in game 5. And but at that point, game 2 is where this series was lost to me. And that stat is insane. I've never seen a team 69% of the series lead and lose. And I just think it's those things.
Something else that never happened before until this series is Jamal Murray is the first player to ever hit 2 game winners in the series.
Bro, I'm disgusted.
Just crazy.
Wow. We let a never before All-Star, even though he should be an All-Star in the West, but we let a never before All-Star, never selected to the All-Star, look like a superstar in the series versus us in a series where he was hurt, by the way. Chris.
Yeah.
Chris, I gotta ask you this, brother.
The guy wasn't hurt, man. He was not.
Right?
That was.
He wasn't injured, but he was hurt. He was hurt. I
mean, yeah.
He wasn't injured, but he. Yeah. No one is 100% at this time of the season.
Chris is saying he pulled a Paul Pierce. So Chris
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, because I'm sick of that. It always happens to the Lakers.
So why do you think we kept losing the leads in the third and the fourth quarter, Chris? What's your theory on this?
Well, I always thought it was key moments. It was those key moments where you need a rebound, you need a bucket. You need to stop the guy in front of you, and it just wouldn't happen. No matter what we did, no matter what slight adjustments D-Ham would make, it just wouldn't work.
He's saving them for next year, baby. They coming. Just hold on. They coming.
He has a stack this high of timeouts still. Okay.
He's gonna use them with the Cucamonga crack killers next season.
Yeah.
Listen, he saved so many timeouts. He's gonna be on an official timeout pretty soon, man.
Oh my gosh.
Permanent timeout. So
Yeah.
You see the irony of him using them all early last night?
Yeah, that's
I was like, bro,
we're gonna touch on that. That's a whole segment. Trust me.
he's like too extreme one way or the other, right? So it's like,
there was that one game a couple games ago where he challenged with 30 seconds left, bro. Like, what are you
right. Everybody was like,
Right.
Darvin has troll in him, bro. He's got troll in him. I'm telling you.
Crazy. All right, now I gotta ask you.
And then the worst one is the one challenge we needed where I guess they inbounded the ball too fast. Was it game?
The LeBron tantrum.
The LeBron. And they did inbound the ball really quick. That was a shot, but I guess it didn't give the guy time to look through the iPad or whatever he needs to go through.
bro.
That's on the assistants. Like the assistants have to be
But
running.
come on, I
immediately.
mean that's your one job.
No. But what I'm saying is though, when you see your star that demonstrative,
right?
Like you have at that point. That's why he did it. That's why he overdid it in the last game. Is because while you're supposed to wait for your assistants, if they were lagging and Braun's going that nuts, you just have to do it. You just have to do it at that point.
The thing is, right, is that this coach, bro, was so blatant. Like that whole, like, what was it, 5 to 6 minutes when AD gets hurt, and he allowed this man can't even run back and forth. You know what I'm saying? He can't even get up. And he allowed that whole 9-point lead, like Mees already mentioned, to disintegrate. It's like I think that was the boiling point for everybody, right? Like even the people that were apologists for Darvin had to come off of that train real quick, right? Now I gotta ask you, Mees, because you've been a big advocate of firing this coach forever, man, since last season. So I'm gonna give you your props. You was the first one on the scene. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Let me ask you this, bro. If the Lakers had a better coach, what do you think would have been the outcome, not just in the series, but this whole season? What team do you think we had?
I'm gonna stand firm on the fact that we sitting on back-to-back championships right now.
Oh,
and that's not hyperbole. That's just my honest take. I still think we have the talent if we were used correctly. I mean, especially with D'Lo, and I get in the whole D'Lo and Ham thing a little later on, but I still stand on if we like in this series, you swap coaches, I think we beat them.
Yeah,
I think we beat them. We just
if you
somebody
swap coaches,
we got them, and it's just and like D3 said, the margins. And to piggyback on what Jeff said earlier, was all facts. If you saw our energy, as soon as they came close to a 1 point and they tied the game, our whole body language was done. We knew it was a wrap. We knew we wasn't going to out execute them, and that's a product of the mindset coming from the coach. We knew that this dude wasn't going to lead us to the promised land once it was a tied game, which is why I'm actually surprised last night was a lot more competitive even down the stretch than it was. That was quite surprising to me.
Right. And my guy Hepatitis C with the banger comment here. He said, Darvingham the type to eat an orange peel.
Backward.
Just evil.
Hey, man, is he eating them with the orange chicken? Would they be doing that?
He eats the seed out of the jalapenos. Or the actual
man. What do you think, Chris? Where do you think we would have ended up if we had a better coach, man? What, you top 4 in the West?
Like, top 4 for sure. Like, and still would have won the in-season tournament, and we wouldn't have fallen off right after. I think they would have at least kept, stayed on the right track, not go. What was it, 3-4, 11 or whatever it was? They had a horrible record after that in-season tournament, but without Ham, I think we're going in the right direction, man. Darvin Ham.
Jeff, give me your predictions, man. We had hired Tyronn Lue or a better coach these last couple of years. Where do you think it would have culminated with this team?
We would have been much better not having a rookie coach having to learn on the job and a second-year coach. Outside of that, I'm still not convinced. Injuries are still a real thing. The Russell Westbrook problem was still a real thing. We can't forget that with Darvin, we did win the in-season tournament. We were looking great, so they were able to figure some things out. But after that, it's just Braun spoke to it last night. Just we've never been whole, and it's not really an excuse when you think about Gabe Vincent, Vando, Christian Wood. These guys were getting Vando back, quote unquote, healthy, getting him on as an extension, getting Gabe Vincent as that POA defender, a guy who can shoot, penetrate, and then healthy Vando to solidify that starting lineup that got us to the Western Conference and not have Rui and Braun out there trying to guard wings. And then Christian Wood to be that guy to sometimes help AD and have more length on that front line. Those were 3 counted on additions that they never figured out Christian Wood. He got hurt at the end. That is on Darvin. They didn't figure out Christian Wood. Vando out, 70% of the year. Gabe Vincent out 95% of the year. Those are 2 big pieces that we really needed come playoff time. So if we had another coach, I think scheming and strategy would have been better. I don't think we blow game 2 if we have some better strategy there. But as far as much further, the injuries are still tough to overcome. But I don't think that we come out of that in-season tournament. I think we could still get like a 4, 5, 6 with the injuries. Just having a proper game plan and sticking to a scheme, especially on the road. When you have a good scheme and a good system, and you take that on the road, then you can lock in on that in a hostile environment, especially with younger players. And I think our development of younger players would have been better.
Okay. Hey, that's a great take right there. D Free, same question, brother. What do you think we would have ended up this season had we had a better coach?
So I was just looking it up. The Suns were the cutoff for the play-in at 49 wins. The Lakers had 47 as the following seed. Technically the Lakers were the 8th seed, but moved up. So anyway, the 49 mark, I think, was totally achievable. If you go back to the beginning of the year, it's kind of crazy because Vando was going to start, but Torian winds up starting instead of Rui. Now, Rui starting is kind of a mixed bag, as we saw in this playoffs. Like, ultimately, they were able to blitz a lot of teams with it, and they actually were on a 60-win pace with Rui in the starting lineup for the games that he did start this season. But in the playoffs, it's a little bit different. But if they start Rui at the start of the season, they have at least 4 or 5 more wins, in my opinion. And throughout the middle of the portion of the year where they hit the in-season stuff, they probably don't go on a 3-10 run, which actually torpedoed their season in a lot of different ways. In my opinion, I think that they decided not to do anything at the deadline because of that stretch and the way that they were looking very mediocre at that time. And it really just had a lot of different ramifications on their team, but they were able to rebound afterwards. And it's like, oh, hey, this is actually something here. But I think if you have just even an average coach, which is a really big indictment on Darvin, you probably win 5, 6, 7 more games. I don't want to go much higher than that because you start getting close to 60, and I don't think they were going to win actually 60 games, given how competitive the West was this year. But they probably are top 4 seed.
I 110% agree with all you guys' takes.
Jesus, I don't think I could top that take for the rest of the show. That's ridiculous. That was incredible.
I'm gonna say this, guys. I'm a firm believer that we're competing for a title. We have a better coach. I thought we had everything on the. I thought we had everything on the roster to compete. I understand there were some injuries. However, we had our main 2 superstars for the majority of the season. And we had most of our starting lineup as well for the majority of the season. We also forget that in the beginning of the year, Cam Reddish was starting alongside with Taurean Prince. And those are the type of blunders that set you back, that it ends up biting you late in the season. This is why we probably ended up, in the bottom half of the Western Conference, and we had to crawl our way back, right? We also have to attribute that we had to crawl our way all the way back just to get to the A seed and eventually land on the 7th. And then, we have an extra play-in tournament game under our belt, so that's going to factor into how we look. And then, and then we have to go with a fresh Denver Nuggets team, who, by the way, has all their camaraderie. They have a great head coach. They're defending champions for a reason. It's not like there's some scrubs. Now, we were in every single freaking game, and coaching really stopped us from getting across the finish line. I believe that if we had a better coach, I don't know if we would have finished top 2 or 3, but I believe top 4 for sure. And we would have had, I believe we would have beat whoever we faced, if I'm being honest, at least got out of the West, right? Because Denver is the toughest team in the West, in my opinion, although Minnesota's coming, and they're very dangerous. We're going to get into that a little later. But Denver, with their experience, obviously the championship team, if you beat them, man, I don't see nobody stopping us, right?
Yeah. I think if they win versus Denver in any matchup, they're winning the chip. The Denver team is so good that I think that if they played against Boston, they probably win in like 5 games. Seriously, I think.
Yeah, the mental leap of just getting over the team you can't beat, and Boston has their mental issues themselves.
Exactly.
So but I want to retract one thing. So contender, I agree with. I still think they'd be 3, 4, 5, like seedish, like
right.
I think they'd be okay. We're getting to the playoffs. We're confident now. If we are going in at 4, 5, or 6, we're not tripping on the seeding, right?
Exactly.
So that level of contention, I don't think we would have got a top 3 seed, but I think we would have been a contender.
Agreed. No, for sure. Now, I want to stay right here with D Free because you've been cooking on Twitter, and I want to get you on here. You wanted to come on here. I got to ask you this, bro. Do you guys, now this is for everybody. I'm going to start with D Free. Do you guys run it back with Bron and AD? Or depending on what LeBron does, let's just say, assuming LeBron leaves, because right now, he's on the record as to saying he's not sure. We all know it's the LeBron leverage ploy. We know what he's doing. He wants Bronny on the Lakers. We know what the heck is going on here.
Ooh.
Right? But I got to start with my guy D Free because he's been a long-time LeBron supporter. And I got to ask you, bro, what are you doing if you're the Lakers? Take off your LeBron cap for a minute. What do you do?
It's tough.
Well. So on the LeBron thing first, he would, no matter what. I told you this. No matter what, he would never say otherwise, right?
Right.
He was always going to say, "I'm not really sure." I think some of that too is he's at the age, he's at the point where he's starting to contemplate, like last year. He's contemplating it, thinking about it, and then he had a quote saying that His kids are getting older. He's missed a lot of that, which is a very human way to respond to that, you know? And so I think there is some of that there. And I also don't think he's going to leave. I think he's way too established there. He's been there for 7 years now. This next season is going to be his 8th season or something like that.
Six. Yeah, the next
6 going into 7. Okay. Well, no, 80's been there for 6, right?
What it is that 1920. He got there 18-19.
Yeah, but there was a couple seasons that were really squished together because COVID. So I think that they've played a number of seasons like that. I think it's 7 and 6. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. He's been there for a long time. Yeah. And I don't think he's going to go anywhere. Everything's perfect for him there. And so I think if you're the Lakers, what they're going to, so here's the chasm. I think that there's the way that you would want it to be done versus how they're going to do it. Mm-hmm. Because
good one.
because if you ask me, I think that LeBron still is a max level player. He showed it out there. He's out there competing. He's out there doing everything you need him to do on offense. He does take some plays off, but when he really ratcheted up in the playoffs, he was dominant, dude. He leads the playoffs in stocks right now, if I remember correctly. He was out there doing everything you need him to do. He was dominant. Now, where he got beat was on the margins because he's not a high motor player. You can't put him on Aaron Gordon and expect him to box him out and get that rebound over him. He's not going to do it. He never was going to do that.
Even to your point, I think no matter what, LeBron will always be a max level player.
So that's what I'm saying. Like what they're going to do is just to wrap it up. They're going to give him max, and they're going to offer it to him. Now, part of the reason of that is I think that they think they can retool with a new coach and new players around them, all that stuff, and then maybe be better off. Maybe they actually just flat out build their team to play against Denver this year, which I wouldn't really even be mad about. I think they're gonna look at it from that perspective. I think they're also gonna acquiesce to whatever the hell he wants to do. You want us to draft Bronny? Fine. If you want us to trade this pick and not look for Bronny, fine. We'll look for that too. They're gonna do whatever they want him, whatever he wants them to do. Then I've heard you say that you have to do what's best for the Lakers, but you have to understand also that those two things may be aligning as well. It's not just LeBron wants this to do it. It's like they're thinking about it too. Like we want this too.
Depending on what happens this offseason, you might be right? So
so that's the way I see it. And so I think what they're going to do is that, and I think that's what they should do because I think he's still a max player. I think if you build your team right and you have the stuff around them, then everything's perfect. Right. So that's kind of it. That's what I would say.
Okay, that's fair. Now, I usually wait for everybody to go. I got to go here. I have a different perspective on this situation here. So my guy's a good friend. You know, I respectfully disagree with some of the stuff he says. He's on point. It could be they could align interests, right? But I do believe he should take somewhat of a pay cut, man.
Yeah.
He's a max player on offense, like you said. Defensively, he's not near a max player anymore because defensively, man, let's be honest. Sometimes it feels like we're playing 5-on-4. LeBron's a huge reason for it. You know, he can't do and we can't blame him for it. He's damn near 40. He's about to be 40 by the time next season rolls around. So I'm not mad at him for it, but it's natural. Father Time's undefeated. We don't know if he's going to come back with the same production next year. I know he's not human, so it's likely he will have similar production. Right?
You need Vandos around LeBron. You need dudes that are going to be high motor dudes that can do those things that he's not going to do. I don't think that's a Father Time thing. I think he just never was that high motor player like that.
Oh no, but he would turn up in the playoffs, man.
And he did. He went off. He put up 30 in 2 straight games.
Defensively, this is where I think he needs to take a smidget off just to bring in those high level players. Now, I don't think we just need the Vandal types. I think we need the two-way wings. I thought Prince was perfect. Right, he's a plug-and-play player. You can switch multiple positions. Vandal at times will be a liability, even with LeBron, because you need floor spaces to be around LeBron James, right? Mm-hmm. But you also need those defenders to overcompensate. So I don't want LeBron to leave money on the floor because I think he's greedy or anything. I think it's good for the game that he takes all the money he can get. Obviously, it's gonna impact the market if one of the best players in the league is taking a pay cut. Other teams are gonna look at their stars and say, "Well, look what LeBron. If LeBron did it, you know what I'm saying?" So I get it from that aspect, but from the Lakers' standpoint. We do not need to be drafting Bronny with no first-round pick. That's for damn sure. We're gonna start off.
I agree with you there. By the way,
if we sign him in the
agree.
If we trade up to get a second-round pick, like in the 50s, 40s, I'm okay with it. If we get him undrafted, which is my preference, I'm okay with it. But you know, I think LeBron's a genius. He's obviously holding out to see what his leverage is going to be this offseason, see if they're firing the coach, if they're hiring his favorite type of coach, what type of trades they're doing. Free agency comes after the draft. So we know what LeBron's doing here, right? Yeah. So he's going to hold out, and we'll see if they reach an extension. Rumor has it it's going to be a 3-year max extension, right?
See, I'm by the way, I think that if LeBron had taken cuts,
Yeah.
more cuts, because he did it in Miami, but it wasn't like a really big cut. If he took like the Tim Duncan cut, I think he would actually had a couple more rings in his career, because there are often times where he's just like hamstringing the team by having a really sizable contract. And that's kind of what's also going to happen this year too. If he comes back with the max, can't really do much about that. You have to be a top-notch GM, front office that other teams also want to work with and give those good deals, which, you know, the Lakers are not. They ain't trying to give you nothing for cheap. Like the Clippers get everything for a bag of chips. So it's not going to work like that. So I think that he should take a cut, maybe instead of 60, maybe 35, 40, but it ain't about to happen. Maybe he will take a slight one, but I don't think that even changes too much, because I think the max cap space the Lakers can have this year, regardless of whatever happens, like if they lose him, blah, 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 is like 30 million. So I don't know how much that even changes.
Right. Well, it's interesting because I'm sure Jeff and Mees and Chris have great takes about that. Let me ask Mees really quick, because I saw you grimace when I said the full max, brother. I want what you doing, bro? What you doing? You sticking with the 1-2 punch, or you going a different route? Talk to me.
I gotta be real, man, and part of it I know is it's the ham experience with this group, which is not fair to judge them that way, but I feel like we reached the ceiling with this duo, man, and I think you have a golden opportunity now to capitalize. It's gonna be a lot of unhappy fans, but this is no knock on LeBron. If you want to say he the GOAT, I will not argue you with his legacy and nothing he's done. Watching this dude play this year, being this healthy this long, is amazing in itself. But I think as a GM, I'm gonna have to make a hard look like, hey, we done what we can with AD and LeBron. It's time for us to see if I don't know how the trade scenarios work. Got to talk to Jeff on that, but if we can get anything for him, send him back home to Cleveland for his final drop off. You see the young sharks are here. The young, my man in Minnesota was my man Ant. The young killers are here, and I think the old dogs are dying off, and the new breeds are here, and it's time to get on that train right now and build a young squad around AD with some young horses, if possible, however the cap works. But I have no interest, and it's not hit on LeBron, I have no interest in watching another LeBron AD-led tandem going into the season again, as we've been doing for the last 5-6 years. It's time to reshape it.
This is why y'all gotta hit the like button and subscribe. Around the League is all about opinions, man. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. Everybody has their own opinion. D-Free made a strong argument for his case, and me just made an argument. I'm somewhere in between. Like I said, if LeBron takes a pay cut, a little bit, just 10 million off, bro. You're a billionaire, 10 million off. You know what I'm saying? But I know it's not going to happen. Chris, let me come to you, bro. What do you want to do this offseason? What do you want personally? Court King Chris, what do you want?
Well, first, I don't think he's going to take a pay cut, and I wouldn't suggest anyone take a pay cut in any type of field they're working in. Do never take a pay cut. Always get the max, because always get the max.
They get the bag.
Yeah, get your bag.
Rich getting richer.
Yeah, don't ever take a pay cut. But what I would love, if you could skim off the top, take a little bit off the top, man.
Wait, we just did a 360 here. My boy Chris said never.
Hit him with a.
Yeah, but you have to remember, it's LeBron. The guy is.
Yeah.
He has a closet full of money that
he don't need that money.
Yeah. I was talking about regular people in regular life. Yeah, don't ever take a pay cut. But I don't think he'll take a pay cut, and I don't think they'll offer him any type of pay cut. They're gonna offer him the max. He'll sign it. I think they'll do whatever they have to do to get Bronny. I don't think they'll get him with a first round draft pick.
That would be ludicrous.
Yeah, I think they'll work away. They'll work around that, and if it has to be, what's the technical term? Like a free agent?
He'll be an undrafted free agent.
Undrafted free agent. Yeah, I think they might do that. They might do the thing, when Kobe said, I'm not signing anywhere else, only the Lakers and all that stuff, where they kind of poison the well and everybody stays away. So there's no issues there. But I don't think there'll be a pay cut, and I think they're gonna I'm afraid this might end up being where it's one of those Kobe deals where they're just gonna pay their superstar until he retires. And I guess you could call it that, and it's not an official farewell, tour.
Then we have to wonder if Anthony Davis will want to partake in a farewell tour. I don't think he will.
And actually, if I jump back real quick, shout out to Search who said he's not interested in a farewell tour. That's kind of, it might be cutthroat, But you know, Kobe was homegrown, so that was a little different. But let's be real, even the fan base, we was kind of like, you know, in them last couple years, like we kind of want to get to some basketball and competing.
It wasn't the memories that I have of Kobe Bryant just planking everything. You know what I'm saying?
And that's very true. But
do that with Bron again, it's like, come on, man, this is your opportunity.
Yeah, and that's true, but they still sold out all the games. You know, they were still selling out, still selling merchandise. So, you know, there's a lot of money involved with LeBron. So I think, like D-Free was saying, it's in both interests to, you know, keep that cash flow coming in. And I think they will. And I think they're going to take care of him. They're not going to make anything look ugly in the media. They're going to do whatever it takes to please him and Clutch. So that means bringing in Bronny. And I'm not saying this is like the right thing to do. I'm just, that's what I think they're going to do. You're predicting
it. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what they're going to do. And what I want them to do is just blow it up, get rid of everybody, bring me.
That was the question. We finally get the answer from Chris.
Yeah, but you know, it's the Lakers organization. They keep it tight now, and they only let certain things out now. And it's a tight-knit group in there. And who knows what Kurt Rambis and Linda Rambis got cooking up in the back. I'm just playing. Yeah, I don't. You know, I know they're not doing anything, but they're in the meetings. But you know, I know they don't have final say. I'm just joking with that. But yeah, I do think they're gonna take care of LeBron, and you know, the guy's earned it. Amazing. Yeah. If I hear people talking about the GOAT and they bring him up, I like me said, I can't argue with you.
Right.
Hold on. I just wanted to ask really quick. What quantifies as a farewell tour? Is that like one season, multiple seasons?
One season.
It's the final contract, man. It's the final contract.
The whole contract, or just the end of
the final season?
The actual final season.
Yeah. So pretty much for me, a farewell tour is if he takes this max money, and we're already going to be capped out. So it's good luck signing free agents. You know what I'm saying? And then AD says, I don't want to be a part of this. He has to be traded. Then that officially becomes a farewell tour.
So they'd be marred with losing and all that stuff. Yeah. Like just
just game. Mitchell Robinson is I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh my God! What just happened right now?
No.
Oh, hold on.
Tell us.
Oh, is that a foul? No way! This just happened.
What happened?
Knicks had this in the bag.
Oh,
Mitchell Robinson fouls Tyrese Maxey shooting a three. He gets the and one. Josh Hart misses a free throw. Maxey comes in. Steph Curry range hits a three. Now it's tied going to overtime.
Bro, I was about to just congratulate the Knicks for advancing.
I was watching it. That sounds like Chris. Keep talking. I was like,
Jeff, your turn, bro. You're up. What you doing this offseason? What are you?
Sorry, I gotta compose myself now. There's a lot to unpack there. But I will say this: there's two names when I think about LeBron and a long-term contract: Harry and Lloyd. And for those who don't know what that is, that's Dumb and Dumber, okay? Because if you're going to give LeBron James a 3-year, $160-something million deal, okay, I want to paraphrase this. LeBron still plays like a star player. I agree with Dave saying about like the max level, but the problem is they can't win like that. They just can't win like it. So you have to ask yourself. My thing with Bron taking a pay cut, they really can't do anything cap-wise with it. They really can't. However, tax, repeater tax, second apron, all these other moves you're able to make secondary as a result of staying below that level are huge when all these other teams are above it. Secondly, and I think this is the banger here, is that with those savings on tax and all these other things, now you can go pry a legitimate head coach. You can go overpay. You can stop doing these $4-6 million coaches, and you can go pay the $10-12 million for this coach. You can go get a Connolly from Minnesota and to run your basketball operations. You can do all that with the money you save on LeBron James. So now my thing is, does LeBron really want that? And secondly, the whole the Bronny thing, the Lakers will not use a first round pick on Bronny. The Lakers aren't even going to keep their first round pick, right?
That's traded.
Yeah, so that's out of here. Secondly, Bronny will not go undrafted. I'm going to tell you why. Because everyone knows where Bron and all them want to go, and it's business. Someone's going to leverage that. Daryl Morey, Danny Ainge, one of those guys are going to draft Bronny.
I'm hoping for somebody else to draft Bronny just to see if he has the balls to leave Los Angeles. Would it be?
No, I'm saying call the bluff. But here's the thing.
Hey, he did walk it back that one time, right?
He did it again today. So the second thing is the likelihood of another team drafting him for the Lakers in the second round is more likely than him making it through the draft undrafted. So I think I believe that these three think that these are going to happen. I believe LeBron is going to opt out. I believe Bron is going to sign a 3-year max extension. I believe the Lakers are going to get Bronny James. I believe that the LeBron is going to fully search out a no trade clause, and I believe it's going to screw us over. So that's kind of where I'm at with it, because it's not no Bron shade. But here's the thing: you got Bron at 40, right? Now, my thing is what head coach is going to want to come in and deal with Bron and his son, right? So that's a concerning part of it right there.
Hey, in LA though.
In LA. No, I know. I get it. What I'm saying is the pressure was already. Yeah. So that's why you've got to be able to solve. Here's my thing. If I'm the Lakers, well, I'll tell you what, Bron, we'll give you 3 years. We'll give you no trade. We will draft your son. We'll do whatever you want, but it's 30 mil. It's 30 mil. Mm-hmm. You meet us halfway. We'll give you everything you want. Everything you want. But give us some flexibility here. Give us some flexibility. And if he doesn't, and again, I'm not referring to cap flexibility, because believe me, I know the cap. All right. But what I'm saying is
it's to move around it, right? It's to move around.
It's to be able to, because the Denvers, the Milwaukees, the Celtics, the Clippers, the Suns, the Warriors, all these second apron teams are not going to be able to make any moves. So the Lakers, by staying below that, will be able to make additional moves that these other teams can't make. Therefore, there is no bidding war. Secondly, who the hell is going to bid on LeBron this offseason? Philly? No. Like, what money's out there? He's not going to Orlando. Let's face that, right?
I do believe teams will be calling for sign and trade. So I believe that. I believe, there's going to be some conversations held behind the scenes with certain teams. I don't want to say any names. Warriors. You know what I'm saying?
It can't happen though. Because
if you're a second apron.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. And a team like the Knicks, as I'm gonna get to, the team like the Knicks, the second they trade for Bron, sign and trade, they hard cap themselves. And it bleeds them below. So it doesn't work that way, right? So the narratives get shot down very, very quick.
They're one LeBron away from really becoming true serious contender.
But they'd have to get Bron in like a mid-level. You get what I'm saying? Bron would have to. So is Bron really going to take a $40 million pay cut to go to New York?
What about the Cavs, man? What about the Cavs? There's teams
they got dudes paid. Garland, Mitchell. They just paid, what's his name?
A sign and trade. What about a sign?
But it hard caps them. And it did have to start dumping off players. So I don't see it. I don't see a lane where Bron has really much leverage here. But at the end, I don't know how much he's going to really need, because I think like DP said, like, I think they're both aligned with wanting to get this done. That's why I said Dumb and Dumber. Yeah. I think they both want to get it done. The Lakers print money with LeBron James in uniform. I don't think the Lakers have a problem with Bron playing here till he's 45. Yeah, the problem is they're gonna have to deal with an angry fan base until that time, because we're not winning anything. And I'm not blaming LeBron for that. It's just if you got LeBron making 60 mil, AD is going to be 60 mil coming in on his extension when that kicks in, right? You got if you move Rui, Reeves, whatever you figure out with D'Lo and all that, and you bring in, I don't know, Donovan or Trae Young, right? So then you really can't even add to that team at that point, right? So it's like, where does this team get better? You're going to turn yourself into Phoenix. You saw how that ended. Yep. So that's why I said I don't see this as a one summer fix. So because of that, like, if it's LeBron,
you're hurting me, bro. You're hurting me, bro.
I am just trying to. I want to be wrong. I want to be clear about this. I don't have to be right on this. I don't have to be right. I hope I'm wrong. But my thing is, can we count on Bron and AD to play as many games again like this next season?
Not at all.
No, that's what I'm saying. We have that. And if we're gonna have less depth, we had depth this year and still didn't have bodies.
That's why I wish we had some killers in the front office, man, to be honest with you, because
that's it right there. We need someone to put, and I mean this respectfully, because I feel this is actually unfair to her to have her in this role. We need someone to be the actual final say in basketball operations. That's not Jeannie. She can approve the money because that's her role. She's brilliant on the money generation, the business side, the actual business side, which was the role her dad actually wanted for her. It's just that his son, who he just believed in too much, was so bad that she had to step in and do this role. But if you get like a Conley, if you got like a Bob Myers, if you got one of these guys who can be like, look, I got this. Trust me for 3 years. Just trust me for 3 years. Approve what I'm going to do, and then we'll go from there. But Jeannie being on that side, respectfully, that's not her bag, right? That's not her bag.
I agree.
And the one thing I want to say real quick, sorry. But the one thing I want to say real quick, the biggest problem with the Lakers is, and this is gonna come off not how I intended, but I know it's probably going to be taken. Them sticking with Darvin as long as they did and not want to pull them away. Them sticking with Pelinka and all these things right here. These guys are scared to pull the plug on anything attached to Kobe. because, and I get it, because the nostalgia and the love and the connection, like they got to pick up the phone and call Vanessa and be like, yo, we're going to get rid of P. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like it's a bad situation. And I'm not talking trash. I'm just explaining the dynamic and a borderline conflict of interest. And then you have LeBron, who's basically the boss of the head coach, who's a client on his agency. There's a bunch of like weird things involved with this.
I think there's something else going on here, Jeff. I think there's something else going on here. And the reason we didn't make a trade at the trade deadline, etc., they kept this coach and they're still trying to show that there's some sort of a power struggle because they didn't fire him on the spot. I think if it was up to the players, he would have been gone by the trade deadline, because, of the report. So I actually believe
they didn't want to pay. They didn't want to pay.
I want to believe, and I'm hoping that the front office is going to push back on some of this stuff, because at this point, we are becoming a team that just wants to sell tickets. We're not the Celtics. You feel me? We should.
Hey, get that thing. Hold on. Let me get that thing one time.
I feel like we're going away from what this fan base grew up loving this franchise for, right? Right now, we're all about selling jerseys, putting butts on seats. I don't want that for the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's exactly what's going to happen. If we bend over to LeBron's will and we do everything he wants, he needs to meet us halfway. Okay, like Jeff said, we'll draft your son. We'll do this. We'll do that. We'll give you the money. But you have to meet us halfway, take somewhat of a pay cut, and give us some flexibility. At the end of the day, he's going to make tons of money from the commercials, the movies, whatever else he does on the side, just by being here in Los Angeles. So, I think there could be a nice middle that could be met. But we're about to find out exactly what this front office is made of this summer, because if they bend over, it's official. We're no longer the Lakers. We're the La Clutches, okay? And we bend over to that will. Go ahead, D-Free.
I also want to say on the money topic, because I know that no fan ever really cares much about that. We don't care about how much your owner spends. We don't care about any of that. We just want you to do what we want you to do. And that's fair, right? Because we're not worried about that side of it. I read something a while back, so maybe a tad bit off, but when LeBron left Cleveland the first time, it cost that economy about $700 million.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, this dude isn't just putting butts in seats and, paying for stuff. This is why they're okay with it, because he is a money printing machine. Despite how polarizing he is and all that stuff, he prints money. Now, what's that $700 million today with the inflation, all that stuff? It's probably much more. So, like, that's kind of why they're okay with it. And, it sucks because you don't want your franchise to be okay with it. You don't want them to be about that. But there's only so many LeBrons in the world. So when you get one, you probably got both hands in the cookie jar. You're like, okay, we want to be good. We don't want to spend any money, but we want to make a buttload of money while we got this dude. So that's So
let me ask you some, D-Free and fellas, and all facts with D-Free said. But let me ask you this: say, regardless of the cap, let's just say, just throwing names out there, we got like Trae Young and Brandon Ingram, just whatever miracle world we got that to replace LeBron. We not gonna still sell out stadiums. We as being a young team like OKC.
That's just the counter argument. That's the counter argument is that the Lakers will always be selling tickets. It's not about that. It's the merch. It's the side revenue.
Yeah, it's the side stuff.
It's the side.
It's the sponsorships. It's the revenue generator. That's why I said the cash flow. But
if the counter to that is if you win again, right? Means
that part.
You're gonna make same. Is the same. That's why. But I do believe that the Lakers are traumatized from that hiatus we had from the playoffs, and they're scared of going through another era where we have to rebuild. That's probably the main reason why they're trying to solidify LeBron James, because then what happens is if you let him go, he walks in free agency or something crazy happens where you have to trade him. What's going to happen is now if you miss the playoffs, everybody looking at the owner like, you let LeBron go, it's all your fault, blah, 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 blah. Now they're coming for your head. So as long as LeBron's here, guess whose head are we coming for?
Yeah. You never want to be the person that decided. No one has ever decided to not keep LeBron. No one has traded him. Technically there was a sign and trade to Miami, but that was after he chose Miami. But what I think the reality is, I think that Jeannie is just doing what her dad taught her to, is that you just take care of your superstars until they are done. And that Kobe was Kobe 36? Kobe was 36?
Yeah.
When he went, right? 37. Magic obviously younger, right? The problem is no one counted on a mother going like you're 40, 45 years old, right?
Yeah.
Like we've never seen this before. So it's like, okay, take care of this dude to the end. Like Bron may mess around and play till 50, right? Like what I'm saying, because and I'm not gonna lie, he could play to like 46, 47 and probably still get 10, right?
Yeah.
He's that much of a physical specimen. But I think to my point, I think Jeannie is trying to honor all of these kind of things that she was taught and trying to keep those traditions and heritages alive, honoring her dad and all those different things that he would like to do. But this is a whole different anomaly. This is just different. This dude's going to play till, if he signs a 3-year deal, 43. And if he's still putting up 20, 22 at the end of that, he's like, give me 2 more. You know what I mean? We could live in a world where Bron ends up playing for the Lakers longer than he did for the Cavs.
Don't tell me I'm gonna have to hold for injuries. I ain't never done that in my
No, I know, no, me neither. But what I'm saying is, we could see a world where he plays for the Lakers longer than he did for the Cavs, and that is crazy.
Wow.
Look, I love LeBron.
At the end of this max, he'd be 10 years.
That's what I'm saying. That'd be crazy.
LeBron
that means,
and it's none but love towards his way. However, man, we need to get the Lakers' soul back. Right now, we're selling our soul to twice, man. They have a stranglehold on the Fanatics right now, man. Yeah, they got Jeannie by the balls with all due respect. You know?
LeBron gonna play till the new technology comes up. He can have a full-fledged Afro game by the time he retires. Technology gonna go so far in leaps and bounds by the time, bro.
Generation, bro. He's gonna go young again. He's never gonna retire.
Man, I'm telling you, look, cash flow. I'm telling you, man, that dude is a walking, talking box office money making machine.
But will he?
I wrote that down, Jeff. We might have to make that a T-shirt.
Will he be a Laker champion again? That's the only question, right?
That's the only one I care about. That's the only one I care about.
That's it. So that being said,
I could tell you one thing. I'm gonna be right there watching every single game.
Oh, nobody's missing anything. Nobody's missing anything. We all diehard fans, no matter what.
Philly might win this game, y'all. Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. I cannot believe this is happening.
Trying to extend the series. It's always
that was Mitchell Robertson being stupid. When you see that replay,
he fouled or what? What did he do?
He fouled Maxey shooting a 3, and then Josh Hart missed a free throw. Then Maxey comes back and hit a Steph Curry 3. No, that was just chalk that up to just ignorant. That was just this. Okay.
Yeah. All
I told myself I was
going
to talk nice today, so I was like,
this whole episode turned into Laker talk, right?
It did.
We're supposed to have a little glimpse of somebody else. So let's switch it a little bit, man. Timberwolves versus Nuggets in the second round, man. Who you guys got and why? And I'm gonna start with you, Mees.
I got Minnesota in 7. I got Minnesota. I think it's gonna be a classic series. I think, and me and D Free was talking about this online, something with the Twin Towers and using of their size. I think they're gonna show and have Darvin Ham sitting there like, why didn't I think of that? With using a bigs, man, I think it's gonna be a classic series. And it sucks because if we use a big, we match up with them identically. Down to the point guard. I think they're about to show what we should have done in this series, and I think they're gonna be, because I don't think Denver's world beaters. We just had a coach that bad, it made them look way better than they actually were. I think Minnesota gonna catch them boys.
Yep, I agree with that. Chris, who you got? Mini or Denver?
Yeah, the Los Angeles Timberwolves. Yeah,
I love
that. And I love their coaching staff a little bit more because I do see them making adjustments and making the right calls. And I saw even the head coach was so involved in the game that he got an injury. So that shows me right there. That's some heart right there when you get injured yourself on the sideline. But he's
having surgery, right?
Is he?
It's already had it. Yeah.
Oh wow, it was that bad.
Yeah, that sucks, bro.
Okay,
I don't even know if he can coach. Don't even know if he can make it.
Oh wow. You're gonna coach on Zoom.
You go see a headset like the NFL,
right?
Right. He's gonna be upstairs, with the playbook and everything. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. Los Angeles Timberwolves. I'm never ever rooting for anybody
that beats the Lakers.
Anybody ever?
Damn straight. We're petty like that. D Free.
Well. Okay, so who I'm rooting for is
I'm about to say we're not rooting for. Yeah. There's a difference.
No. I actually think the Nuggets will win this series. Two reasons why. Firstly, I still subscribe to the old mentality that you give the champion the benefit of the doubt because they've been there, done that, and when stuff hits the fan, they know what to do. Next, speaking of been there, done that, these Wolves haven't. So you gotta also experience matters. Like I don't know how they'll be. Will backside start getting tight when it matters a lot? I don't know. They didn't have to get in that position versus the Suns, so we don't know what to expect. But I do think even if they lose this series or whatever, the Wolves are here. They're going to be amazing for the next few years. And it's funny looking back in retrospect to the way that their team was criticized last year for trading for Gobert, and he, apparently works out pretty well for them. And Ant has taken a leap, so I think that they're going to be amazing. But I think that Murray, first and foremost, Murray is the biggest playoff riser in NBA history. He averages seven more points
right there, man.
He is a killer in the playoffs.
Fuck him,
everybody, not just us.
So 7 more points in the playoffs than he does in the regular season. So he basically tricks off the regular season and goes crazy in the playoffs.
He Jimmy Butler's it.
Yeah, basically. Jokic is incredible. I hate his game.
They call him Pornhub Murray.
Oh my God. I hate Jokic.
Ron Jeremy of basketball.
His game, all that stuff he plays. I told you before, he plays that patented high efficiency basketball you advocate for. But he just I thought AD had him in check, and I look up, this dude's got 8 assists, 9 rebounds, 11 points. I'm like, where's this even coming from? And then what really killed the Lakers is, I think if you look at Gordon and MPJ, those two together, the production they give you is like another star level player, because MPJ put up 22 points per game on 48% shooting.
Like a killer, man.
Especially what Gordon does on defense.
Yeah. And then Gordon on defense, he turned into one of the best defenders in the league. He's a high motor guy. Like, it's just crazy what they really got there. Now, they're not deep on the bench. They are missing players from last year's run, like Bruce Brown. But I think that when you are able to give Murray, those 4 guys I mentioned, 40 minutes a game, you can sneak by here and there. I really do think you can. And I think that Jokic is so crafty. He's impacting the game in so many ways that I don't really think that Gobert is going to shut him down. What they like to do is they put Cat on him and then let Gobert roam, like how 80 would do. And I think that if the other guys are hitting shots, Murray closes in the games, I think they're going to win. So,
wow. Okay.
But I'm rooting for the Wolves.
How many games you got the Nuggets in? Make your prediction right now.
I'm actually going to go 6. I'm going to go 6. Okay. If MPJ doesn't miss any shots again and he plays like he did against Lakers, they're gonna
they'll have McDaniels. They'll have guys that can
that man needs to be arrested with the rest of his goddamn brothers.
For real.
The way he my Lakers, bro.
I actually think that he is one of the best shooters ever, seriously. Because I called him KD light, because he's like a Portland's KD.
Passing on him in the draft, bro. I couldn't believe it.
It's that back, man.
Ridiculous.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, that's that back.
The back.
Yeah. Who you got in 7, bro?
I got Denver. I got Denver in 6. A lot of the reasons that Debris said there. Denver in 6. I think Denver repeats. I just do at this point.
See, I think so too. Personally,
I'm not rooting for them. I take it to what I put my money on. You know what I mean? But I put my mind out my heart, and they take it to another level in the final 5 minutes of the game. And like D-Free said, we'll see how Minnesota handles that. I think Minnesota, maybe they could stretch it to 7. But what does Minnesota look like if they go down 0-2? Like, are they going to give up in a game like the Lakers did? Right? Yep. They're not like fully tested there. Cat is not known to have great playoff runs. He's known to disappear towards the end, get in a lot of foul trouble. And Ant's my guy. He was my pick for breakout star of the playoffs. He's living up to that. But he's gonna have to be all world, and he's capable. But Murray, man, in those final 5 minutes,
Nuggets
what's that?
You said Nuggets in 6 or 7?
6.
Okay, 6.
I got Nuggets in 6. I'm not hoping for that, but my team's out. I'm not rooting for or against anyone at this point. Like, I just want to see some good basketball, and I know it sucks, like losing to him. But I've also looked back over the years and all those battles with Duncan and all that, and kind of got the appreciation of have been able to be part of that greatness and watching it. And at some point, I think we'll come to a point where we appreciate Joker's greatness. We're just in it right now, so it's tough. But that dude's a bad man. And when you give him a closer, because Joker can be a closer, but when you give him an additional closer like that, that's ridiculous. Because Kobe didn't have another closer, right? He had just a dominant force. But the final 2-3 minutes of a game, it got troublesome because Shaq couldn't hold the ball and you get fouled. You got 2 guys that can just rip your damn heart out. That's crazy. And that's why I got him at 6.
Okay. That's a good take. I'm going to say Minnesota in 6. I don't believe Denver has what it takes to repeat this year. They're a good team, but let's be honest. If we were a better coach, the Lakers would have took them out. And we're not even the best team in the West, right? You got Minnesota. You got this young, hungry team. I believe they paid their dues already. They've been in the playoffs a couple of times, lost in the first round. I think they made it. Did they make it to the second round last year? I don't remember.
Wolves?
Yeah, the T-Wolves.
No, they went out first round against Denver.
First round. So they've been out a couple of times in the first round, but they actually have some experience. They got some vets. I like Mike Conley at the point guard, way better than D'Lo.
Man, what a torpedo trade. We should have kept him.
Yeah, it sucks. But hey, it is what it is. I like their two big man lineup, even though I don't trust either of them. But together, I'm sure they're going to wreak some havoc as far as, hopefully putting pressure on Jokic, which the Lakers didn't do enough. And Ant-Man, he's that guy, man. He's a superstar. Like Stephen A. said, I usually don't agree with him, but he's arrived. Ant-Man has arrived.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe he will be the best player in that series. I believe it. We might be wrong. It might be Joker still, obviously.
That'd be so dope if he is. That means he took that game to the next level.
He's got that Mamba in him, bro. I haven't seen a player like this since Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, he got that nasty. He got that nasty.
I don't compare a lot of players to Kobe. I get offended when they compare motherfuckers to Kobe. But this
he's the first one. He's the first one. He's got that old. He's got that old NBA soul.
That dog.
You guys like more him or Ja?
See how he held Cat accountable in the post game conference when he said, just don't fucking foul, bro. And he said that with a straight face, bro. He wasn't joking. Cat, bro, Cat felt like a pussy right there. He almost melted like a bar of chocolate the way he told him that, because, man, you could feel that he wasn't playing. You know what I'm saying? And he did that in public. So imagine how he holds him accountable in practice, behind the scenes, and all of that. So he's the real deal. I got Timberwolves in 6. If I'm wrong, so be it. But they made me a believer.
None of us can tell the future, man.
They made me a believer, man. I've seen enough, and I believe they got what it takes for to beat Denver. I don't think Denver's a really good team. They're a really good basketball team, but I think we exploited some things in this series, right? The fact that we had the lead for that amount of time, and the fact that we didn't even play our best basketball. We were sloppy. We turned the ball over. We played a lot of drop coverages and poor defense, and we still took them to the wire every single game. I think a better team will come in and finish the job. So hopefully that does happen. And as far as Joker goes, he's a great player, man. He's a great player. I can't even hate on him for his greatness. He's never going to be one of my favorites personally. All that hurting he gets away with, bro, I'm sorry, man. He can win 4 or 5 MVPs.
I'll hate on him for you. I'm part of the haters club, so hate.
But he's good. I give it to Jeff. He's absolutely fucking good. I mean, you can't say
he's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
What can we do?
I'm sick of the guy.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to heap no praise at him, right, Chris? You won't see him on Court Kings anytime soon. I'll tell you that. All right, so I got to ask you guys, the Suns get swept in the playoffs. Is it the end of a big 3 era in the NBA with the new CBA and other stipulations and stuff there is? I got to come to Jeff here first. Jeff, how you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, the big 3 era ended before Phoenix traded for Bradley Beal. They just didn't pick up the call when someone called to tell them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know what? KD, but because KD won those with the Warriors, he feels that's the only way to win now. And he's pressing so much to try to turn that narrative around that he can only win with the Warriors, that he goes down his path. But no, that big 3 era is over. That team isn't going to win anything. They're going to have to break that team up. They're going to have to, because they're going to sit there. They traded every single thing they had. Now they have a parachute. They can move all those guys and recoup things. But they're going to run out of time at some point with KD, because no one's going to give up tremendous value if he's him at 37, right? So I think that big 3 era is over. I think Phoenix will be an even worse team next year. They're already hollering fire Vogel after a first season in there. What do you know? Bring Vogel and you struggle with offense. Who would have thought? And then give him no defensive players. Who would have thought, right? Sounds a lot like the 2022 Lakers, right? But and I that's not a shot at Vogel. You give him the right personnel, and he can help. But if you want that guy to think offensively, good luck with that. But outside of that, no, the big 3 era is over. It's been over. The 2.5 era is probably over. You know what I mean? Like you have to have the problem with the big 3 era, Dan and panel, is with the big 3 panel, it's the impatient panel. With the big 3 model, it's the impatient model. Every summer, you're flipping over everything else because you have 3 guys, a bunch of minimum guys, a mid-level maybe, and every summer you're flipping things over left and right, and you get no continuity. And these teams like Denver, the team Minnesota's building that continuity out. You're gonna have the team like Sacramento building this continuity out. The Warriors had that continuity. Boston is building that continuity. Miami's for forever has continuity. Not that they're going to win anything, but that's why they continue to get places. Right? Look at all these teams building out. Even the punk ass, even the Clippers, like even they got their continuity, right? to a point. But what I'm saying is at the end of the day, the Lakers, the Suns, these teams who continually punt on continuity, big three or not, that's going to kill you. But the big three era is absolutely over. It's been over.
Dead on arrival. You hear that, chat? Been saying it for a while, man. This new CBA is gonna make it really hard for guys to take teams to take shortcuts. They're trying to even out the playing field. There's a lot of contract rewards for players to stay and play with the team that drafted them now. So what I'm saying, it's not that easy for, like in the past with Lakers, would go out and grab like a Shaquille O'Neal after his contract came up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more incentive for these teams and these players to stay with the team that drafted them. So I think the best way to do it is through the draft, through free agency, and then trades, right? In that order. I think you got to draft some young star players, some star talent, or at least some really good role players. Free agency, we know the Lakers always have an advantage whenever they do have cap space in that department. But then, and then, when you make your trades, you got to be careful because that Russell Westbrook trade really killed us. Chris, I got to ask you, bro, end of the big three era?
Yeah, for sure. I think so. Just like Jeff said. And if there's any team I would trust to do pretty decent in this draft, it's the Lakers. And they have a decent track record of, drafting players that you don't really hear about, or maybe even undrafted players like Reeves and Caruso. So yeah, I think if we do something like that, the Lakers will be fine. But yeah, I think it's over. And you see, the Suns is like the main team out there that you see. Yeah, it just didn't work. You're gonna just have to have a bunch of Kent Bazemores on your team, and who wants that, right? Guys that are good at something, or maybe good at one thing and not at other things. So yeah, I think that's it, man. And it makes it tough for a lot of teams out there that just want to take the shortcut, which is something you can't do anymore. But that's why I was hoping for the Knicks to get the big name already. But it seems like who else or what else can they do? Because I do think that they were on their way, but are they able to get somebody this offseason? Who knows, right?
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting summer for a lot of teams. Mies,
sir.
Same question, brother.
Absolutely. As Jeff say, it already happened, and everybody was on the 2-man team, and Phoenix was like, nah, we still gonna get ours. You had Chris Paul and Deft to go with Booker and KD. Like, what more do you want? That's your squad right there with bench power and all of that. Yeah. Then I'm starting to question management, and just in a lot of ways, man. Everybody knows that Frank Vogel is a defensive wizard on the defensive end, his adjustments, but he is absolutely horrid on the offensive end. And you put him on this team with nothing but scores. Like, you didn't catch the memo from all the Laker fan base of what the lineups he was putting on with us offensively. How do you not know that? How does management not know the tone that is set with these coaches? I just don't understand when you think that. Now, I give D'Antoni gripe for coming to our big team with Twin Towers when they should have hired Phil Jackson. But that team right there with those big three, that's a team that D'Antoni probably could have done some dirt with over there. You know what I mean? Like, you got to know your personnel and your coaches that you're bringing into the fold, man. I just don't get it.
Yeah, man, and it kind of makes me low-key happy, guys, that this whole superstar era where motherfuckers are teaming up with their high school buddies, you know what I'm saying, being over. Like, it makes me happy. How does that make you feel, D-Freak? How does that make you feel that a lot of these superstars will no longer have the advantages when they team up like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with it. I prefer the 2-star way anyway, because the 3-star way has, like Jeff said, pretty much just hamstrings your team way too much. Personally, I think that the last good shot that it had was that Bucks year where KD had the foot on the line. I think Kyrie got hurt in that series. James was coming back a little bit. I think maybe they could have snuck that chip in actually against Phoenix. I believe that was that year. And then maybe we might be talking a little bit differently, but after that, I don't think it worked. And then on the topic of Phoenix now, they're a little bit of a cautionary tale because they're an example of what you shouldn't do. But I think if you go back to this time last year, they were like, we got to get Monty out of here. Nobody likes him. So then they brought in somebody else just because they hired who was available, even though, the funny thing about Vogel, you guys were right. You got to give him defensive personnel. That's why he didn't work for the Lakers the last couple of years, because you were running guys like Carmelo Anthony out there, which no slight to him, but he's not a Vogel player. You got to give him specific guys. And he was talking up how he was going to center his defense around 8 and all this stuff. And then he decided to trade Aiden for Nurkic for some reason.
That was crazy.
And they just did a lot of weird stuff. They leaned into Bradley Beal as a third player. I think that they were approaching. So all that stuff, if I remember, Jeff, was the apron stuff starts this off season this year. So they were going to get screwed. And they were like, okay, let's just blow through the door anyway, because we're not going to really have much to do. So I think that was their mindset with getting a third star anyway. Yeah,
the beginning phases started next summer, but I've always called this summer the real boogeyman of the new CBA.
Yeah, because you got to prepare for it.
Yeah, they're like, look, why go barely past the second apron? Just blow past it.
That's what they did. Point. So they said, screw it, we're just going to go. So I think that's kind of what happened with them, and they're in kind of a weird spot. Like Jeff said, they can retool if they need to, but I don't think we're going to ever really see 3-star players team up like that. I think, like Dan was mentioning, it's kind of weird. I think also with the 3-star model going away, we're also seeing the decline of free agency, because I don't really think you're going to see too many star players pretty much ever hit free agency ever again too much like that. Unless they are desperate to get somewhere else, they're either going to stay where they're at or they're going to trade it. You're not going to go star hunting for free agents like you used to be able to do anymore.
And because of all this. You're right there, because they will only use their free agency as leverage to get the trade prior to their free agency.
They're going to sign the bag and say, trade me where I want to go.
That's exactly what it is. And you know what's and so that kills free agency, and then the play-in killed the trade deadline.
Yep.
So because now you got less teams selling because they want to potentially. Yeah. So all these things, they're gonna have to figure out how to make it. They're gonna have to figure that out. But that's it right there. Again, he just keeps killing it today.
Absolutely. Hit the home one time for a special guest, D-Free. He always come through and appreciate you, D-Free. Thank you, brother. But yeah, listen, it's gonna get very interesting this offseason. I am very curious which direction the Lakers are gonna go. It sounds like they're gonna go towards. They're not listening to what we're saying, so they might go and try to trade for a Trae Young or somebody like that, and think that that's gonna get them over the hump, right? So yeah, that seems like what's gonna happen, unfortunately, man. But let's see. I mean, it could all be just smoke and mirrors, and then maybe we get something completely, favorable going into this offseason. So we'll see. But again, I appreciate you, gentlemen, man, for being here with me again today. You guys are absolutely phenomenal, man. And the chat as well, man, for being active. One day after our season has ended, you guys could have been watching the playoff game where you guys were kicking it here with us. So we appreciate that. So shout out to you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and let these guys shout themselves out on their platforms and everything they're doing this summer. And let's start with our guest, D-Free. Go ahead, brother.
Well, I've been on before, but if you haven't seen me before, I am over on YouTube at D-Free, the same spelling as the name down below. I don't really do NBA content, mainly gaming content, but I actually am maybe over the summer or towards the beginning of next season going to be starting up a NBA specific channel. So going to be talking about that. But if you guys want to talk hoops with me or anything like that, you can follow me over on Twitter at DFree DBZHD. So that one is there for you guys as well.
Awesome. Hey, man, we look forward to the content you're going to be breaking down, brother.
Yeah, you better do a basketball channel now. I didn't heard it. You don't gave us some hope, man. So that's
I was contemplating it at the beginning of this season, but I just kind of put it off. And then I was like, okay, we're approaching the playoffs. I'll do it now. And I was like,
now you got no choice. You got no choice because I'm going to be a pain in the ass. So
Free, man. Another star is born on Around the League. Love to see it. Mees,
yes, sir.
Talk to us, man. What you got planned this summer, man?
First of all, man, you know, I'm gonna cry in the car a little bit. First and foremost, I'm gonna cry in the car a little bit. We gonna be all right. We gonna get through this, man. It's gonna be exciting. I can't be honest. I don't even know if I'm excited. How I'm feeling about people making decisions in charge. But we gonna be here to drop that info, man. Regardless, man. Salute to my bros, man. Flex for my man D-Free, man, and the panels, man. Love y'all, man, and my cousin. Dan, you already know what it is for opening up the platform and welcoming us, man. But yeah, we gonna be dropping that content, man. Once we get out of this little hangover, this little coma, man, we gonna be back, man. Me's be back. Y'all know what it is.
It's gonna feel amazing when we get that notification.
Hey, no, and that's my thing. That's why it's hard to even. You can't even set the tone because we all thought the how you disrespect the championship coach Vogel. Now he should have been gone, but you're gonna do that in a press conference.
Yeah.
Now we got to sit here hitting refresh on Twitter.
That's why this is happening. That's why there's a delay. So it's coming, But because of what happened with Vogel, they're going to give it a few days. That's why. It's all about optics right now.
That Vogel thing was, oh man.
Bro, I hate
It's
how
coming.
the office operates
It's coming.
based off of what the mainstream media is saying. You know what I mean?
Now LeBron knew that Kendrick disc was dropping today, so like wait another day. Like
we need to be ruthless. And just cut the dead weight.
As soon as that ESPN crawl, you're gonna see Mees running butt naked up the street,
covered in baby powder.
Yes,
sir. Absolutely, man. Appreciate you, Mees. Jeff, talk to us, man. I know you got big plans this summer. Talk to us, man.
Oh man, but this has been up. Before I get to next summer, I just want to talk about this past season. I just want to thank all you guys so much for letting me be part of this season. My first year covering, definitely a grind. So I'm not even gonna make this about me tonight. I want to thank Dan for definitely letting me taking me along for the ride here, making me part of that PSF ride early. Always helping, when I need help, and really pushing me early on to be more consistent and do this more often, and being someone to bounce ideas off of, and coming on my show when I needed him, always giving me an open door to come on his show whenever I felt like to get something off my chest basketball wise. So just, I'm not even going to talk about me because it was just so I wanted to do this, and just never really found the time or the motivation. So Dan kind of pushing me along, Mees, Chris, Deepre, and everyone else has been on around the league. Everyone in the chat, the best chat in the world, like all the great moderators out there, Search, JSJ, Kurt, Angie, and all the people who just really made me feel at home this season is really what I wanted to bring up and talk about, this being that's the end of our Lakers season. But we got plenty coming this summer. There's going to be plenty going on, man. Dan's playback over there is going to be lit with all kinds of different stuff, so make sure to get over there. But like I said, I just wanted to really take the opportunity to not make it about me, but make it about all you guys, because I didn't know how long I was going to even do this for. I didn't know if people would like it. I didn't know. I didn't know. I had no idea, right? So for me, it's all about just appreciation and saying thank you for being able to make it all the way through the season, and the ups and downs and the frustrations and the fun basketball talk, the annoying basketball talk, and all the back and forth, and the fun, and to get here and just realize, damn, I did it. And then how the hell has Dan been doing this since like 2016 was my first thing in my mind, right? But no, thank you from the bottom of my heart, all you guys, man. That's really all I have to say today, because it's important,
We appreciate you, Jeff. And by the way, he's got some big things coming up, man. Definitely shows love, support to each and every single one of these guys in the panel, man. But people understand how hard the work is that we put in year year out. It takes a lot, man. Like sometimes you got stuff going on outside of this, and you got to deal with that. And then you come on here and you deal with the stresses of the Lakers season, and then you all that good stuff. But it is also a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? And it's been an absolute pleasure doing it with you boys, man, and you guys being the main panel here, as well as our brand new star, D Free, man. This guy's killing it. He knows he's welcome on here anytime. My good friend D Free. And I also want to thank you guys, because you guys have also pushed me when my channel was down. You guys motivated me. You guys donated to me. You guys just showed so much love. Chat as well, man. So again, this season's just getting started for us personally, man, because the real grind starts in the summer. Y'all think we grinded during the season? Just wait till, what I'm saying? We got to really dissect this season ins and outs. So I do appreciate you, Jeff. Thank you, my brother. And
thank you.
And again, Mees and everybody. Chris, I'm going to give you the platform, my friend. Take us out.
Yeah, just want to thank everyone here. D Free, you were amazing, man. I've seen you on the show a couple of times now, and I'm definitely going to tune in anytime you put anything out. Yes. And then I just want to say, if anybody's looking for some great streetwear, you go to shopcourtkings.com. You'll find the best streetwear you can find. Yeah, we got it every day, all day. Anything you need is on there. And I just want to give a quick thanks to the Court Kings affiliates, all of our affiliates. Yes, thank you. Sir. And yep, there you go. Nice. All of that's some heat right there. And that one's right there. That's the special one right there that Dan came up with, the blast. You haters, yeah.
Man, we all pitching in on this, man. This is just giving them a little glimpse of some of the stuff we've had or have on the website, for limited time. So definitely go tap in, like Chris said, man. It's been a fun ride, but you guys make it special. Yeah,
and a quick thank you to the We Talk Mavs guys. Been collaborating with them. They've been amazing. So yeah, shopcourtkings.com if you're looking for the best streetwear anywhere. We got it.
Awesome, man. What a great way to finish the show. My guy, Court King Chris, the graphic goat out here sending us off, man. Again, there's going to be a weekly episodes of Around the League, fam. Go ahead. You guys on the same beats? Go ahead, bro.
Oh, sorry. Old school. I don't know who old school is, man. Shout out to old school, man. Why you got me distracted talking about breaking news, Darvin Ham? I'm trying to pay attention, and I'm going through Twitter like crazy. I don't see nothing.
No, my phone would have blew up, bro. It's first
trolling.
Whatever the news happened, my phone was.
I saw Mises' eyes pop out of his head for a second. I knew what he saw. I knew what he saw.
Yeah, we're always gonna have the trolls out here, man. But anyways, guys, definitely a pleasure. Thank you guys again so much. See you guys on next week's episode of Around the League. It's been another one. And again, thanks to our special guest, D Free, bro. Thank you for joining us and blessing the channel today. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Catch you guys on the next one. All right. Peace.